Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and what should come as no surprise to anybody, it looks like Transformers 1 sequel is not happening. In fact, the director has pretty much come out and said, yeah, it's definitely not happening, that Paramount has no plans to move forward with a sequel. And why shouldn't it be a surprise to anyone? Because the movie was a gigantic disaster. As much as people were trying to say, this thing is fantastic, even though real Transformer fans went and watched and went, no, it isn't, it's garbage. There was also the issue that they were trying to say, this thing's got legs. And it turns out, no, it didn't, and it's lost money. So let's have a look at this anyway, because it's not just this movie that seems to be affected. It sounds like they're hitting the pause button on all things Transformers at the moment. So it's saying the future of Transformers movies continues to stall out. While participating at a panel at Botcon 2025, director Josh Cooley has reportedly confirmed that Paramount currently has no plans for a sequel to Transformers 1. News that won't surprise fans given the film's underwhelming box office run. The update comes via an X user and the TFW 2005 forums, where fans are discussing Cooley's remarks. While the animated prequel had been hyped as a fresh start for the franchise, pulling in just $129 million globally on a reported $75 million budget made a follow-up unlikely. And that is an insane number to hear. $129 million worldwide. That's insane. $75 million budget. They probably put in another 50, possibly another 75 to 80 for the marketing. Maybe they even went to the 100 million for the marketing. The thing needed to top well over 200 to break even, and clearly didn't come close. So this adds to the silence surrounding the rumored Transformers G.I. Joe crossover movie. Chris Hemsworth was said to be attached, but there's been no official word or development updates in months. The Wrap has reported that Paramount's plans for future Transformers movies remains murky. Combined, it's looking more and more like Paramount is pressing pause on Transformers, or maybe waiting for the dust to settle on the Skydance acquisition before making any big moves. The situation is also made worse by Hasbro stepping back from financing its own films, instead shifting focus to its Magic the Gathering brand. Rise of the Beasts was released in 2023 and only brought in $441 million, which is in stark contrast to the billion-dollar Michael Bay movies. Bay's final film in the franchise, The Last Knight, topped out at $605 million. So there's the thing though, before The Last Knight, he hit $1 billion. Then The Last Knight came out and you saw that drop from over $1 billion down to 600. And then the last movie went from 600 down to 400, and now it's dropped down to not even being able to get to 130 million. So it's no surprise that they've recently gone, look, I think it's time we hit the brakes on this crap. And again, so many people had no idea that the likes of Rise of the Beasts was in fact a sequel, and the official sequel to Bumblebee. Like, the fact that people didn't know that, and everybody wanted a sequel to Bumblebee, because Bumblebee was great, probably the best of the Transformer movies realistically. And it's like, this one is the sequel. We're just not going to really hype it up as a sequel, and we're just going to make it this garbage fest of a movie that it ended up being. Transformers 1, as soon as you saw the animation style, it was kind of like, that's weird. Once you saw how Optimus and Megatron stuff looked, it was like, God, that looks horrible. They don't look like the characters. Then you heard the voices, and of course the first question was, why are you using Chris Hemsworth? Why aren't you just bringing back the original voice of Optimus? It's not like he's not around. And it was just like the jokes that were in the trailers and stuff was like so off-putting. And I have seen some Transformers fans saying they hated the trailers. They didn't particularly love the movie, but they liked elements of the movie, and it wasn't as bad as the trailers were making out. I have heard others though say, like, flat out, it's not Transformers. Either way, they do seem to be kind of pressing pause and possibly thinking of a big reset for this whole franchise. Possibly due to the Skydance acquisition, But more so, it's probably because they're like, look, each time we're putting these movies out now, we're getting less and less back. We can't keep doing that. We can't keep making these movies for X amount, putting it out and watching it. Like, it had to, in their mind anyway, it had to be one of the safest bets to go, 75 million. We are going to pull in so much money. It's going to be so easy to make money with Transformers at a 75 million budget. And they put it out, and globally, they couldn't hit 130 million. It's like, yeah, that tells you everything you need to know. And it's basically, well, you just didn't really listen to the fans and see what it was they actually wanted to see. And you went in completely the opposite direction. So, yeah, they kind of did it to themselves. But anyway, there you go. Doesn't seem like Transformers 1 Part 2 or whatever the hell I suppose it would probably be called Transformers 2 ain't happening. Nor does any of the rest of them by the sounds of things at the moment. Now that we're doing this video, news will probably come out now somewhere this week about the G.I. Joe crossover. Maybe we'll get an update, don't know. But for now, this is the information we have, so this is what we go with. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. You know the drill. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.